It's the podcast Far, Far Away. You're listening to Han Talks First, and today we have some awesome topics for you. So we're going to dive into Avengers a little bit and compare that to Star Wars. We might get a little carried away because we are just fresh off seeing Avengers Endgame, and it's a pretty dope movie. But don't worry, we're going to get back to the meat of it, which is Star Wars. Again, this is Han Talks First. I'm your host, Han, and joining me for the second time, if you guys remember, Zen.
What's up, y'all?
He's back.
I'm back.
And like you guys remember, or if you didn't listen, Zen is a huge Marvel guy.
Huge.
Over Star Wars, actually, but we forgive him because
Huge.
He still loves Star Wars. So, real quick, I just want to thank everyone who has been supporting the page. It's really kind of blowing my mind. I've had people recommending me to collaborate with other podcasters, and I just think that's beautiful, and there's a lot of positive response out there. And I don't know who most of you are, so hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. It's Han Talks First. Use the hashtag to get my attention, ask me questions. Maybe we can feature you on an episode. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to spend a couple minutes here just talking about the movie Endgame because it's that
Crazy.
epic. I know it's a Star Wars podcast, but don't worry, guys. We're gonna relate it back, and we're gonna tie things together. So, Zen, just go. Just tell
first
me.
Of all,
just go for it.
Spoiler warning.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
been out a
Yes.
while.
This
but
is definitely
still.
spoiler heavy episode, even though it's been out for a couple weeks. But if you haven't watched it yet, do not ruin it for yourself. This is a movie you don't want ruined for you. So go away now and come back after you watched it, because this conversation will be worth it. So thank you, and just go. I just want to hear it. Just the first thoughts.
All right, go. Cat picked up Mjolnir. What the fuck? Okay, that was the first thing that popped into my head. But, dude, literally the first thing that I think of when I think of this movie is perfection. I swear to God, I am such a supporter of this film. I've seen it 3 times at this point.
Me too.
And it got better every single time.
Isn't that weird?
Every time I was like, "Yep, this is perfect."
Usually you go through and you like pick out things
you
that like
nitpick
suck,
things.
but like this one, it's like, oh, I found more things I like.
And I tried to nitpick. I was like, "What do I not like? What do I not like?" And the things I didn't like the first time I saw it, now the third time I'm like, "This is amazing."
You walk in there like, it can't be a perfect movie. It just can't.
I
It's not
literally-
possible.
I wanted to find something wrong with it because I was like, "I'm just biased. Oh my God, what do I do?" But nope, I can't. I can't think of anything that I don't like about it.
When I first saw it, I was kind of, what's the word? Overwhelmed with emotions.
Oh, yeah.
And when people were asking me what I thought of it, the only thing I could say was it was life-changing in a way. It really was. I
I can't
mean,
believe we get to experience this in the theater when it
Exactly.
came out.
Exactly.
We can say that for the rest of our lives.
and the first thing I watched it with my girlfriend. The first thing I looked over and I said to her was, I was like, I'm so glad I invested 10 years of my life
Totally.
to this franchise.
Payoff is insane.
It really is.
my
And
God.
the way that they tie in every single movie, even the ones that, people don't really like.
Yeah, The Dark World.
They
It's
made
such an
you like
important
it, though.
movie.
I
Yeah.
know.
Now I go back and watch it. I'm like, yo, Fat Bear's somewhere talking to his mom right now.
But it's really great. It really is. It's a finale of those 22 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But in a way, it also felt like a finale to all movies of all time.
Dude, where do we go from here? Who's seeing Pokemon this weekend? Oh my! Actually, I probably am. But
I am too. Yeah, let's be honest. But yeah, you're right. It's like what else do we have to look forward to? Like, what's gonna blow our minds to that same caliber?
I don't even know where they go next. I mean, Spider-Man's coming out, but like, all right, back to Endgame. Oh my God, it's weird because like my favorite parts of this movie, it's a superhero movie, and I mean it has the craziest action in any of the movies. It has the best end fight, I think, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%.
like, but my favorite parts of the movie are like just like it's so emotional. Like Tony has a daughter, Cap goes back in time and lives his life. Thor,
that was beautiful.
Talked to his mom. I love that scene. I read this thing that actress, I don't know her name, who played Thor's mom.
Oh yeah,
had more lines in this one movie than all the other Thor movies put together.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet she was
She had
happy.
more to do and more to say in this one than any of the other ones.
Oh wow!
And it was an amazing scene. Fat Thor was like one of the only things I didn't like about it the first time I saw it. I did not like it. I was just like, I kind of wish he was like Thor.
Yep.
But then I saw it a second time. I was like, wait, no, this is amazing because he's depressed and sad that half the universe died.
Yep, and we can all relate in a way.
Yeah, totally.
So but I was on the same page. Second time I saw it, I was like, oh, you know what? I feel for him, and like that would be me if all that happened to me, I'd be Fat Thor.
It's also cool because they took like the hottest, strongest Avenger and just made him fat, and he was still the strongest.
You think Thor's sexy? Is that what you're saying?
Fuck yeah. Chris Hemsworth's so hot. Like,
are you coming out on my podcast?
I'm a heterosexual male, but that is a good-looking dude. What?
I agree with you. Okay. But, so what, actually, on the topic of Fat Thor, something funny I heard I was watching reviews of this movie, and this one guy, he was a bigger guy, and he was like, Fat Thor was awesome.
Yeah.
I felt like I could see myself in him. You know, everyone's always talking about we need female representation, but I'm so glad I finally got fat representation in a superhero movie.
No, totally. Because it is true that superheroes are weirdly jacked.
All of them, yeah.
So it's cool to see the strongest one just kind of like and they never brought him back to being ripped. Even the final fight, his outfit was just bigger.
Yes.
He had like a stomach. It was so funny.
Right, and it proves like you don't have to look a certain way to be a hero.
Yeah.
Anybody can be a hero.
Even Star-Lord, Chris Pratt's gained a little weight.
Oh yeah. You're one sandwich away from being fat.
Exactly. Oh my god. But when like the final fight first started, it was just the three of them, and just like Mjolnir and Stormbreaker came at the same time. I was like,
so great.
This is gonna be the greatest thing ever. I was freaking out in the theater. I was like, no way.
There was so much good servicey moments.
The entire movie is just not one of them didn't land for me.
Yeah, me too. It was great. And what's really cool is there's 30 main characters in this movie.
Pretty much.
They all were serviced equally.
They all got their moment.
Yeah.
They all had their moment.
They all had a reason to be there.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else could do that. Any
no
company,
one else could
movie,
do that.
whatever.
Just a Braveheart ending. Just insanity. Yeah. Oh my god.
And then that, like, right when they all get together, Cap says, Avengers assemble.
Dude.
I lost my mind.
No, he brings Mjolnir in and then he says it. I was like, this is the greatest movie of all time. That's literally, in that second, I was like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Nothing will beat this in my life, I swear.
That moment when he first gets Mjolnir and he takes on Thanos, dude, he let him have it, man.
Dude, actually, so I've seen the movie 3 times, so have you. I realized only one person beat Thanos beat the shit out of him. Only one of them did. Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
She's the only one. Everyone else, got like a couple punches in, they were good, and then he immediately beat the shit out of him right after. The only one that beat him was Scarlet Witch.
And if he didn't call the airstrike, he would have been dead.
Snapped him in half.
Yeah.
It was crazy. He was like, kill our own people. I'm about to die.
And when she's like, you took everything from me, and he's like, I don't even know who you are.
Who the fuck are you? Yeah, dude. Dude, the first 15 minutes of this movie, I was literally just like they go to the planet, they cut this dude's fucking head off.
Yeah, right away.
And I was
Did not see that coming.
And I was like, how long has this movie been? We got 2 hours and 45 minutes left. Where are we going?
Me too.
Where are we going? Dude, I when I saw the movie the first time, I left, I was like, I wish I had one of those like Men in Black things so I could just wipe my memory
for the first
and
time
go
again?
see it again.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Because the whole movie, I was just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? He has a daughter? He grabbed Mjolnir? Spider-Man killed people? Well, aliens.
Dude, I wish we could just erase our memory just for that one moment and watch it again for the first time.
That was some of my favorite fan service when Spider-Man put on instant kill and just started wailing at the aliens.
Yeah.
There was so much fan service. Or when Cap got in the elevator and he was like,
oh, I love that.
Hail Hydra. And you thought he was just going to beat them all up again
Yeah.
from one of the best fight scenes in the whole MCU, the elevator fight.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to do it again, and then it was so smart how they did that.
And America's ass.
That is America's ass. And Hulk taking stairs.
Too many stairs.
Dude, every time I've seen that scene, I'm like, how the fuck is Tony Stark alive after getting punched in the body by Hulk?
Sideswiped.
By Hulk. Every time I'm like, all right, out of this whole movie, that's the most unrealistic thing in this movie. Everyone's complaining about the place getting bombed, and Hawkeye is totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a superhero movie. Like, come on. But Hulk literally punching Tony Stark right in the face.
Yeah.
And not expecting it. I don't know how he got nothing from that.
And with, I mean, you remember the theory before about Ant-Man going up Thanos' ass?
Yep.
It wasn't that far off what actually happened because he actually went inside of Iron Man.
He did.
Remember?
Yeah, he went in his heart. Yeah, he's like, I'm going inside you.
I saw that and I was like, why does this seem familiar? The meme. And I
Dude,
thought that was hilarious.
Everyone is funny in this movie. But that's that's my biggest annoyance from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies is sometimes I feel like they take the joke instead of the serious route when they could be serious. Mm-hmm. In this movie, they go with jokes, but it's not just a joke. Fat Thor was more so funny because he was fat, but when he would actually talk, it was more so like a place of depression. Especially if you've had depression in the past, you can tell that this dude's just trying to get away from the conversation by being funny. Yeah. That's what a lot of people do. So Fat Thor was weird at first for me, but when I saw it a second time, I realized he was just depressed. Mm-hmm. I was like, holy shit! They made the god strongest dude ripped. A god can beat anyone up. They made him depressed. That's crazy.
And Chris Hemsworth's acting in this was great because you can really tell, for example, when he wants to do the snap with the new
and they're like,
gauntlet,
no, dude.
And he's like, just let me do it. Just let me do it. You can tell he really wants to fix himself.
He thinks that's it.
Yeah.
And I think Chris Hemsworth is such an underrated actor. As an actor, obviously he's in the biggest movies of all time, so he's not underrated. But just as a strictly a dramatic actor, he's so underrated. In Infinity War 2, he does my favorite scene when he's talking to Rocket, and he's trying to tell him well, he never fought me, he never fought me twice, and then he starts crying a little bit, and he's like, what can I lose? I'm like, that was my favorite scene in the movie.
Kind of laughs it off to cover it.
Yeah, he laughs it off, tells a joke, whatever. That's what depressed people do. Yeah. They brush it off by pretending to laugh about it. Yeah. And it's just the Russo brothers are geniuses.
Yeah, and I also I don't think he had that right direction in Thor 1 and 2 because we really saw
it was too serious.
how he could act in Ragnarok. Right?
Yeah, totally.
It was kind of a different character in a way. He kind of opened up.
They had to because people weren't liking one. I think they're okay, but Ragnarok definitely made it.
So I think we have to credit Taika Waititi and Russo's.
They said Chris Hemsworth said that he begged them to keep the Thor they were doing for Endgame.
Like that,
because apparently, the tone of how he was funny now, sort of. They wanted to bring him back to the serious Thor from 1 and 2.
Oh, I see.
And he lobbied and begged, no,
no,
keep it how we're doing it.
His comedy is good too. His timing,
hilarious.
his delivery,
He's hilarious.
It's great.
He's one of the best parts of the movie, and yeah, dude, I just think he's so underrated as an actual actor.
I agree.
And then this movie proved it.
Yeah,
for me.
And Iron Man.
Tony Stark.
I think this was some of the best RDJ acting we've got.
Absolutely. Dude, if Black Panther got nominated for an Oscar, I don't understand how this movie can't.
Oh, no, you're right. For a picture?
Yeah, for Best Picture.
Yeah. Or effects, visual effects.
Dude, if it doesn't get that, I'm going to be mad. But just because I think Infinity War is so much better than Black Panther, I love Black Panther.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
So I couldn't believe, and they came out the same year. So I couldn't believe that Black Panther got Best Picture and Infinity War didn't. Just out of those two, I mean. So this year...
Nomination, right?
Yeah, nomination.
It didn't actually win?
Oh, no, okay. It didn't win. It just got the nomination. Gotcha. I think Green Book won, I think.
Oh, yeah. That's right. The movie nobody's seen.
Yeah. I saw it, but a lot of people didn't see it. Mm-hmm. But, so, if Black Panther got nominated for Best Picture, I do not understand how this couldn't.
Oh,
I think it's ridiculously possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Not only from a standalone picture, but also, what they did
what they like.
for cinema.
Best Picture should
history.
be more than just the movie itself. Like these people pulled some crazy shit off.
Yeah.
And they got it from fans who wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
Because everyone's seeing all the movies.
And it shows on every extension, every arm of this web. They did box office. They made a beautiful story. The acting in it's great.
Yeah,
the
people are
visual
seeing
effects.
it because it's not just like a, quote unquote superhero movie. It's
Yeah.
like a real, like dark, sad, amazing movie that
Yeah.
gives you the best fight scene in any movie ever. I might just sound like I'm gassing it up, but I really don't think
You're
I am.
really not.
I really don't think I am. Like, I don't want to sound like the Marvel everything dude, but it's just
Are you a shill? Are you a Disney shill?
It's just so
Is that what this
good.
is?
I mean, Star Wars, Disney too. Disney is everything.
Yeah,
Disney
they really
is
are.
life.
And on top of like that, tone of the movie, it's amazing how they shot it with Infinity War at the same time, and it was a completely different.
Yeah, they shot them
movie.
back to back. What I don't understand is
Insane.
I would love to see like behind the scenes, like because a lot of the actors say they don't know what the movie's about,
Yeah,
and then we
yeah.
see them in the movie saying lines, and I'm like, there's no like, what are you telling us? How did they shoot this? Like, out of order? Did they make you shoot two movies so that you didn't know which was which? Like, because I see these things and like all the actors are like, I have no idea how it ends.
Right.
I'm like, you were all at the funeral scene. Like, I'm confused.
And the guy who plays Black Panther's like, I don't know, I'm dead. Like,
Yeah, dude, I read something that at the Infinity War screening, like when he died in the movie, like Chadwick Boseman stood up and was like, "No, they didn't," and like
Really?
screamed in the like I heard something that he did that at the premiere, and like I'm like, how do you not know you died? How does
I can see him not knowing he got dusted.
Yeah, I guess maybe they like took a shot of everyone doing that, and then they didn't know who they picked.
Yeah,
Like they shot a scene of everyone dusting, and then they like picked themselves. Who was actually going to do it.
And aren't you glad Tom Holland didn't give anything away this time?
Dude, I'm so and Mark Ruffalo.
Yep.
Neither of them gave anything away.
Actually, Mark Ruffalo did.
Oh yeah, I saw
with
something.
Vanity. He said Cap gets married.
Yeah, I saw that. I
was-
actually did see that. That's so
And I didn't catch it because I saw that interview before the movie. I didn't catch it. I thought he was blowing smoke.
He did the same thing with Infinity War. He spoiled it. Like, he literally spoiled it. He was like, you should see this next one. Everybody dies. And no one thought he was serious.
And what's his name was like, dude, did you just say that?
yeah, Don Cheadle.
Yeah, Don Cheadle.
And he was, you could tell in Don Cheadle's eyes, he was like so scared.
Right?
He was like, oh, God.
Man,
please
we're
don't
both going to get fired.
Please don't affiliate me with this, Marvel. But yeah, it's Endgame is definitely my favorite movie. We didn't even touch any Iron Man stuff.
Let's do it.
Like, oh my God, just seeing his daughter. I was really, I was really scared at first when we first found out about time travel that like his daughter was going to get like wiped from existence. That was one thing I was scared of. And then they explained time travel. And again, after 3 viewings of the movie, I totally get it. I totally understand how it works. Because like they said, if you go to the past and change something, nothing changes. You just create a new thing.
Yeah.
This is its own universe, its own reality. That has nothing to do with you.
And that was fresh, too. Like a fresh take on time travel.
Because they didn't want to be, like X-Men. Like, you change the past, everything changes. And now
I never seen X-Men.
You never saw Days of Future Past?
I haven't seen any of the X-Men
The
movies.
only good X-Men movie. But
Oh, really?
Yeah. But that's not true. Logan as well. But
Oh, I did see Logan.
okay,
I love that.
yeah, you've seen it. But okay, back to Endgame. Like, just the way they explained it. The first time Hulk explained it, I didn't get it because he just went super fast.
Oh, yeah.
But then when they talked to the Ancient One, that's when you really. I
Yeah.
loved that cameo too.
Oh,
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
they just start talking about it. She's like, you're gonna be good, but my reality, we're gonna get crushed. Like,
Right.
we need that. And so I love how like she knew that Strange was like he knew what he was doing. And a lot of people are also thinking like, well, if she can see the future, why couldn't she see that Thanos is coming and that he's telling the truth? And if you remember in Doctor Strange, right before she dies, she was like, I've been able to see my whole life, but I can't see past this. So she can only see into the future her own life.
Oh, right. You
So
see
she
past
can't
your
see
death.
Thanos coming because she's
yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
That was another thing I saw on the internet that people were like, well, why couldn't she just, look forward? Blah,
Right,
blah.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Doctor Strange.
A lot of people do. It's not that good, but I like it.
It's a good...
One of the worst villains.
I think
but
the origin of it is good. I love that. but I don't really remember much of the movie.
The
So go
villain
back to
sucked.
Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man. So
I love you 3000.
I love you.
That
And it's
got
like
me,
you
man.
were in the low like 600 to 900 range. I love that. Everything about his daughter. He had the cutest daughter in the world. First of all,
Yep.
That actress, whoever she is, and just he was such a good. His acting was just amazing.
Yeah.
When he talked to his dad, I loved
sweet.
that scene, and he really quickly was like, "I have a daughter," because he wanted to tell his dad that he has a grandfather.
That was so sweet.
That he is a grandfather, not has a grandfather.
That was so great.
It was so great, and
then-
it's with the Tesseract,
Yep.
everything, and they got the Pym particles, and in that Hank Pym lab, you saw the original Ant-Man helmet.
Oh, I loved that.
That was such a cool Easter egg.
Yeah.
And what's that guy's name? Michael, the actor who
Douglas?
plays Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
He looked weird in the 70s.
Oh, right.
He had the weirdest haircut.
He was doing some LSD, maybe. Okay, so we're going to keep talking about Avengers, but let's start to bring in some Star Wars to it.
Word.
So I want to start with, first of all, let's just compare the two real quick. Mm-hmm. So we have Marvel, MCU, which has been around since 2008? 2008. So we got about an 11-year history there. I would say it's still kind of fresh. And Star Wars been around for 42 years, I think.
9 movies.
40, yeah. And I guess you can count in the TV shows like Clone Wars and stuff like that. And they're both these huge, I would say, mythological stories, right?
Two of the biggest franchises ever.
Two of the biggest
owned by
franchises
Disney.
ever. Yeah. And they're kind of on that same level. They're both of them are the biggest things out right now.
Just by
right?
hype.
Yeah.
You know, Marvel or Star Wars trailer drops, everyone's like, stop what you're doing.
Yep. And the government shuts down for like a day.
It's a national holiday anytime a trailer drops.
So I want to first talk about the criticism against these films. So do you remember the first big criticism against the MCU? Or one of them?
They're villains.
Who's villains?
The MC, like just most MCU villains are boring. That's a big
Okay,
one,
yes,
I know.
that's the one I hear a lot too. And then another one I hear is against the Dark World and Ultron.
Yeah, I don't get the Ultron one. I get the Dark World one.
I don't either.
I personally love Age of Ultron. Dark World, I understand.
I understand Dark World. I don't for Ultron because I loved it.
I loved it too.
And
James Spader's amazing.
also there's
Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, actually.
Oh, people don't like those either?
Yeah, most people don't like Iron Man 2. A good amount of people don't like Iron Man 3. I don't really like Iron Man 3.
Okay, so we got those, and then there's also The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like
give
that.
Shit. I like that one too.
And aside from just the movies, there was also a period of time recently when everyone was like, we need more female superheroes, right?
Totally.
That was a huge thing as well. And
that female scene in Endgame.
with A-Force?
So many.
That was beautiful.
So many female Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly didn't really realize.
I didn't either.
There's a lot of women.
Yeah.
Dude, Pepper got an outfit. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
But why that scene made me sad was because Black Widow wasn't in it.
Yeah. Also, that scene, it was just very random. Came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's a giant war happening, and you all just huddled. Mm-hmm. Cool.
It was a little bit...
It was a little bit obviously placed rather than
spoon-fed.
just like a movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like if they were just all in the same frame, I'd be like, yo, all these badass women.
Right.
Just the fact it was front and center, I was like, this is obviously you just want us to see this.
Right.
I mean, that's what a movie is, but...
So remember that, because I want to come right back to that. But so those are some basic critiques against the MCU that we've had. Yeah. Let's look at Star Wars. What are some critiques on the current era of Star Wars? Not all of it, just current era.
Ryan Johnson.
That's a huge one.
That's a huge one.
Ryan Johnson.
Anyone can be a Jedi. No, you can't. Skywalker. No, I'm kidding.
All of that's under Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, exactly.
We also get a lot of Kathleen Kennedy, right?
Who's
The producer, main producer.
Oh, right, yeah.
A lot of people also do not like Rey being a quote Mary Sue, right?
Kylo Ren's a bitch. I personally love
Kylo
Kylo
Ren's a
Ren,
bitch,
but
yeah.
a lot of people say that. I don't agree.
And I would also say how Star Wars. Actually, I'll come back to that later. Okay, so what about some more Star Wars critiques? I guess we can add in prequels, right?
Yeah, everything.
Everything about the prequels.
I'm kidding.
A lot of people say it ruined Star Wars forever, right?
It didn't.
That was
a little much.
Yeah.
Episode 3 was awesome.
It was. It was.
But Jar Jar.
Jar Jar, that's a huge one. Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, really. What were the critiques? My critique
Jar Jar?
is just I don't like, no, just the movies in general. My critique is just I don't like them. I can't think of except episode 3.
Well, now it's about the visual effects, but at the time they were state of the
obviously.
art. About little Anakin.
Oh, yeah.
Jar Jar, of course. And midichlorians.
Oh, yeah.
Those are a couple big ones. And also female representation. You got that a lot in current era. Just from like nitpicky things, nothing major.
I wish Ahsoka was in the prequels.
My God. Yes, I really.
That would have been great. That would have fixed that problem.
Yep, because everyone loves Ahsoka.
Everyone.
I
Loves
don't know anybody who dislikes
Ahsoka's awesome. If Ahsoka was in the prequels, that problem would be eliminated.
Ahsoka should have been in A-Force, A Avengers, whatever they're called.
They should have just crossed her over.
That would have been so.
Can you
amazing.
imagine? Like they just gave her a new origin story. They could do that.
Dude, I would love that.
I'd be cool with it.
Outside of the box,
she has nothing to do with Jedi. It looks the same. Her name's Ahsoka, and she's like a guardian. Like just replaces Mantis.
Yeah.
Mantis is like my least favorite.
She would fit. She can intro in Guardians 3. That'd be awesome.
I would not complain, personally speaking, just because I want a live action Ahsoka.
Okay, so look at those big critiques against both sides. Mm-hmm. So what I find interesting is, starting with MCU, with the movies, Thor, the Iron Man 2 and 3, Ultron, whatever.
Ultron, yeah.
What happened in Endgame? We revisited those stories.
Yeah.
And
we didn't revisit Age of Ultron, but they referenced it a lot.
Referenced like a lot of material.
In the beginning, when Tony Stark was like, super skinny, just got back from space, he was like, I wanted a suit of armor around the world.
Yeah.
You guys told me no. You said we'd lose together. We were on different planets. Like, that was all Age of Ultron.
Milner, that was introduced, the idea of him picking it up.
Yeah. The shield breaking in half.
Yep, foreshadow.
The whole vision of Thanos coming was in Age of Ultron.
So
Scarlet Witch.
And what did it do? It made you want to go watch it again, right?
Yeah.
So
and Thor: The Dark World. I kind of want to watch Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah,
to be real.
I didn't like. I thought I was never going to watch Dark World again, and I saw Endgame. Now I want to revisit it, and I might like it going back into it.
Yeah, no.
So in a way, they kind of retconned it.
Yeah.
But they did it in the best way possible, is by reimagining it without retelling the story.
Yeah.
So it still exists, but they just made it more involved into the big narrative of everything. And let's look at also, what was the other thing I mentioned? The lack of female representation.
Oh, yeah.
What did they do? They listened.
Endgame's got that.
First they brought in Captain Marvel, right?
Totally.
And
she was still boring in this movie, but she fit a purpose. She did what she had to do and left.
Yeah, but they didn't just, right when people were wanting a female superhero movie, they didn't just throw that in your face.
Yeah.
They built up to it.
I'm so happy she didn't beat Thanos. I was scared.
Yeah,
they were do that.
I was too.
And then they were like hinting at it, and then Thanos punched her in the nose with an Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
So he's not scared to hit women. Dude, that punch was hard.
Yeah.
In the face. Because he knew when he headbutted her and just nothing happened.
That was hilarious.
I was like, oh man, this is awesome. And then he wrecked her.
See, I'm not even confident to know what her powers are exactly. Do you know? I know she can shoot fire.
I don't really understand it either because
it's from
it's from the Space Stone. That's what the movie explained, or it's like something that was powered by the Space Stone. But why wouldn't she be able to teleport then? Because that's what it does.
Yep.
But then you also think Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch got their powers from the Mind Stone, and they can't read minds.
Yeah.
So they don't really explain that either. Too much.
I guess it's just a mutation.
Yeah, I guess it's just a radiation thing. I honestly can't fully tell you, but Captain Marvel's fucking powerful. The
Yeah.
way she takes out that ship in both movies.
Yeah. I loved it
Her
when-
main power is just flying through battleships. She does it in both movies.
And when the guns turrets faced up towards the sky, and everyone was like, "What are they shooting
Oh,
at?"
dude, I had no idea.
I didn't either.
Like, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
I was
are
like,
they
"What else
shooting
could
at?"
possibly be making this bigger than it already is?"
I forgot about her, honestly, because she's not in the
Yep.
movie at all. And when they started firing up, then they were like, what are they firing at? I really had no idea. I was like, yo, what the fuck are they firing at? Oh my god, oh my god. And then it was her, and it was badass.
Yeah.
And then Peter Parker gave her the Infinity Gauntlet. He was just like hugging it. Black Panther was dope in this movie too. He's only in it for a minute. He's just running with the gauntlet like it's a football. Passes it to Spider-Man.
And did you realize when he first got the gauntlet, he said, "Clint, pass it to me." He addressed him as Clint, and that's still built into his story.
He doesn't care.
In what was it?
It was Civil War.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It was
when
the airport fight.
yeah, and he was like, "I don't care what your name is."
Yeah,
whatever.
and then he just kicks him in the face.
And it again shows that they addressed every single character's story from
Every single
start to
one.
finish.
A really
Brilliant.
small Easter egg that I saw the first time because I'm insane with these movies was when Ant-Man goes, "That's not our only time machine," and he hits the car alarm.
Yeah.
First of all, how'd that car survive all those bombs? But,
Right, it was
it's
perfectly
the
fine.
only thing perfectly placed in the middle of the fight. But when and then Wasp showed up and she was like, "We got it, Cap." And in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man calls him Cap, and she's like, "What are you guys, like, friends?" Well, you know him, like she makes fun of him.
Oh, yeah.
She makes fun of him for calling
That's why
him
he
Cap.
looked at her like
yeah, that's
that.
why he like smiled at it. I noticed that the first time because I'm insane. But
Wow.
so like she called him Cap, and I just
Dude,
thought that was
I'm
a nice.
sure there's
that was a
still
nice little thing I saw.
I think there's still things in that movie we haven't caught yet too.
Oh,
Like, there's got to be.
My favorite joke in the entire movie is in the final fight when Cap and Thor are fighting, and Cap puts his arm out, and Stormbreaker comes, and then Thor grabs Mjolnir, and he's like, "No, give me that one. You take the little one," and they just like trade.
Yeah.
I love that. That's like one of my favorite like comedic wise. It's one of my favorite things
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah, me too.
Wasn't a huge fan of the selfie scene. A lot of people love that scene.
Selfie scene. Oh.
With Hulk.
It just drug on a little bit.
That's the only joke in the entire movie that I was like, this is kind of dragging a little bit.
Yeah.
The only one. Everything else landed for me.
Yeah. I think I liked it the first time, but that second time I was like, okay, come on, let's go.
Yeah, fucking Ant-Man.
He doesn't want a photo. Okay, so what I was saying with like back to that, how they let us into that Captain Marvel movie by introducing characters like Gamora and Black Widow. Yeah, and it was it was building up to there because
Wasp.
Wasp, yeah,
Wasp was the first one, actually, with her name in a
yeah,
movie.
yeah, and then
But they like still were eased into it because it was Ant-Man and the Wasp. It wasn't just
Yep.
the Wasp.
that's very true.
They like built up to it.
And then they're able to do that A-Force scene with all the females together.
Dude.
And now that can introduce, because now everyone should be comfortable with, okay, now I want to see a standalone movie of whoever and what,
Yeah.
or a brand new character. And so,
Howard the Duck.
yep,
Solo Howard
not
the Duck.
another tie into Star Wars in a way. George Lucas
Oh, yeah.
produced Howard the Duck.
That's funny. You know he's in the final fight?
Who?
Howard the Duck?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's there.
He's behind Wasp, right?
Yeah.
So funny. So what I want to compare that to is to the criticism against female representation in Star Wars. Yeah. So how did Marvel address the female representation? They just brought them in little by little, leading up to a big movie, right?
I think they were realistic, even though it's screwed up how like there's not many female superheroes. They knew that if they did it immediately, it might not land.
Yep.
So Black Widow was like, she was pretty much a main character in Iron Man 2, but her her name wasn't on it. Then the Avengers, she was the only woman, but she did a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
She, if anything, she did the most out of them. She figured out how to close the portal. She did a lot. She beat the shit out of everyone.
Her ultimate sacrifice at the end, too.
In Endgame, yeah. Black Widow is very underrated, I think. Even though
Yes.
she didn't get her own movie, but
Yeah.
so they really like eased into it. And then Ant-Man, they were slowly showing that she was the Wasp. And then she was in the second movie. Gamora's a badass. Nebula's a badass.
Yep.
Valkyrie's a bad. Everyone, they're all badasses.
Yeah.
They all kick ass. They can all beat the shit out of me. I know that.
And so, what do we say about what happened with Star Wars when people wanted more female representation? What did Disney and the creators and...
Rey is the main character.
No, this is what they did. They said, well, you're intimidated by strong women, when we like criticize the ones we got and they weren't like properly created, right?
It's obvious that they did it specifically because of lack of female representation rather than just naturally making good female characters.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Did I say that correctly?
And the fact that they're not listening to the fan base and taking that as constructive and actually taking offense, rather than they could be taking it and doing what Marvel does, and over time figure it out. Not just, oh, well, in the next one we're going to throw in this character Rose Tico. She has no purpose, but she's
Rose.
here, and she's also a double minority because she's Asian. Now we got two. Boom. So
I hate Rose. I hate Rose.
I do too.
I hate her. I hate her so much.
When I what was it? When when like characters were announced in 9 and they were like, Rose is going to be a big part. I was like, well, at least Ryan's not writing her.
I hope it's just straight to Netflix.
Oh my god, just her segments, her parts.
Yeah, I hope they cut all her scenes out and make their own like 20-minute little Netflix episode that I wouldn't watch.
Just so you can't watch it?
Yeah. But they still released it.
I want that to go straight to video on demand, so I can't watch it.
I want it on HBO, but like the one you have to subscribe to that I won't.
Yes. Yes. So basically what I'm saying is that separation between MCU and Star Wars as far as fan criticism is how did they respond. I believe MCU, what they do is they retcon / fix the problems rather than doing what Star Wars does and just completely negate what the people are saying and if they try to fix it, what they do is they do it way too drastically and not with a good storyline behind it. And so one question I want to ask you real quick is put yourself back 10 years ago and Iron Man 1 is just coming out, okay?
Yeah, it's the anniversary today.
It is, yeah.
Of coming out 11 years ago today. It's crazy. Thank you, Robert Downey Jr.
So put yourself back there in 2008. Now imagine that Star Wars is also coming out that day rather than 2015. They just announced it or whatever. Would you have ever believed MCU would be at the point where it's beating Star Wars?
No.
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, if you asked me, I could only if I didn't see Endgame, and you asked me, you can only see one, Endgame or Episode 9, what would you see? My answer, I would say Endgame so fast, so fast. And I mean, again, I'm biased, but I feel like a lot of people feel that way.
No,
like,
I understand
just because of Episode 8.
Yep, that's a big one. But I mean, I'm kind of right there with you, and that should tell you a lot because it's coming from me.
Yeah.
After that first viewing, me and my girlfriend got in the car, and I said to her, I was like, I'm really scared for Episode 9.
Yeah, no matter what happens, people are going to compare it. Like, there's no way around it. Like, we just have to be honest. People are going to compare these movies because they're both endings.
Yeah.
That's why. People are going to compare it to probably the Game of Thrones season finale.
Which I still need to learn about.
I don't watch Game of Thrones either, but
good.
Now everyone here hates us.
Yep.
Everyone watches.
I get it every day,
I've seen the first
guys.
2 seasons. That's it. That's all I've seen.
Oh, you've watched more than me. When it was first after season 3, everyone was talking about it. I think I was in college, and
it's probably the Red Wedding episode. I haven't seen it either.
I have no idea.
I just know it's in season 3.
Well, I just know a lot of people are talking about it, so I was like, I'll give it a shot. So what did I do? I downloaded the first 3 seasons right then. And I started it. I watched 2-3 episodes, and I was like,
oh, that's crazy.
Why the hell am I wasting my time?
Oh, man, I got sucked in when I started.
Oh, you did? So you actually liked it?
Yes, but then it was fairly recent, and then Avengers came out, and I stopped that shit.
But yeah, I feel you. I was like,
definitely everyone's going to compare these 2 movies.
Yeah.
Just because they're endings.
And I think they should. Star Wars can learn, and they also have a lot of competition right now.
Totally.
Because Marvel's not done. That was the Endgame, but they're not done.
Also, I wonder when the dates of all the new Marvel movies are coming out. Because, what if they...
What do you mean?
Because we only know Spider-Man. We don't know...
Oh, release dates.
Yeah, we don't know what's coming out next. I mean, we know what they're making, but we don't know in the order and what year. So, we know they're making another Black Panther. We know they're making another Doctor Strange, another Captain Marvel.
You think they'll announce at Comic-Con, maybe?
I think they'll announce it like right after Spider-Man comes out.
Oh, okay.
Let's be real. They don't need Comic-Con. They could do
true.
for Phase 2 and 3. They had their own presentation thing and announced all the movies.
Yeah.
So I think they'll just do one of those things. I hope that Avengers movies are done.
I think they are.
I obviously it's impossible now to make these films and not have them interconnect. It's so interconnected now that it isn't. It's just one thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not a bunch of franchises. Like it is one franchise, just with different titles. So like obviously they're gonna make Spider-Man and Nick Fury's gonna be in it. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They're gonna make Guardians and now I guess Thor's in it, which is the best thing they could have done.
I agree.
They're gonna make another Captain Marvel, and if they do make another Avengers movie, I don't want it to be some like world-ending shit. I mean, how could it be? Because now they're like very spread out. It's not just Earth.
Yeah, it's got to be
the Guardians. It's Captain Marvel. They all know each other now.
Yep.
So like technically, would every movie be an Avengers movie? Because they all know they could all just call each other.
Yeah.
So like I hope the universe world-ending stuff is done, and it's just like personal stories.
If it does come back to that, let's build back up. Let's start small again, and let's get bigger.
I don't really want them to do that.
No.
Because then it's like you struck gold. Don't. You gave it to us.
I see what
you
you're
did
saying.
it perfectly. It's sort of like my problem with Toy Story. Because, like, Toy Story 3 ended so perfectly. It was just a beautiful ending. And then they announced Toy Story 4, like, years later. I'm like, we don't want this. You did it perfectly. You nailed it.
I think the only thing I want from that movie is just to look at how much animation has
that is true.
gone up.
It looks beautiful.
That's really all I want to see.
It looks so good.
I don't care about Woody. I don't care about Woody's Woody. I just want to look at pretty things.
But yeah, I hope all future MCU movies are kind of like Ant-Man 1. Where it's just like it's just a movie about these people. Like it's nothing too crazy. There's obviously a villain, but more so like a personal villain. So like Guardians 3 could be Adam Warlock because in Volume 2, they tease that and those gold people want to kill him. So if that's the conflict, hell yeah. Black Panther 2,
golden shower people.
Yeah. Black Panther 2, more Wakanda shit, or Namor the Submariner. I've heard people saying that.
Yep.
Or Doctor Doom. I hope Doctor Doom gets in the MCU, dude. That'd be perfect.
Oh, they have the rights now, right?
They have the rights now. That's the best villain that they never used yet. So I'm hoping maybe like Latveria and fucking Wakanda getting some kind of conflict.
Yep.
Like, small things, very much more personal things. Spider-Man's easy to do that with because he has so many villains.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's very easy to make them personal.
Mm-hmm. So to sum up the comparisons real quick, because I want to move on to something else.
I gotta keep
basically, what I'm getting at is I think Star Wars can learn from the MCU business side of things. I believe that what Star Wars has done is they set up things, they set up more things, they have questions, and then the way they address it is it doesn't matter, or it's not important, or it's a complete subversion of expectations. What I believe MCU does is they set up, they deliver, they set up, they deliver, and so on and so on. And if they mess something up, what they do is they retcon it or they build upon it and just make it worth experiencing for the first time. So that's about it with comparisons. Now, what I really want to get into is...
One more thing. Another thing that Marvel can learn from Star Wars... Star Wars can learn from Marvel is Marvel has one dude who figures it all out. Kevin Feige.
Yep.
He's involved. They have different directors, they have different writers, they have different everything. But Kevin Feige is involved in every single one and makes sure that every single one makes sense to each other. That's his job. His job is to make sure they're all interconnected and that it makes sense.
And he cares a lot.
Because he's a
fan.
He
knows the material.
He's a fan. He started as a fan. He was so low level at Marvel when he started. I don't know exactly. I haven't really looked into it. But he's the reason it worked.
Yeah,
he is the
really
sole reason. Obviously the Russo brothers are amazing. Robert Downey Jr. is amazing. All the writers are amazing. But Kevin Feige is what kept it on course.
He had the master plan.
Yeah, it was his plan. And he fucking nailed it.
And our Kevin Feige in Star Wars is Kathleen Kennedy. And I don't believe she knows that much about it.
It's very obvious in these Star Wars movies, the new 3. Yeah. They didn't have we have to get from here to here in 3 movies. They sort of made a movie. And then now where do we go? Let's make another movie, Ryan. And then that didn't go so well, so they're like, JJ, wait, make another movie. We don't really know exactly where we want it to go. We need your help.
Just fix it, please. Just fix it.
They weren't like, all right, we want Rey to show up. She's this person, blah, 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 and she needs to get here. and we need you people to write how that happens.
And I know how that happened because they just bought the biggest IP in the world and they were starting episode 7 and they put all their effort into that one story and forgot, oh, wait, shit, we got 2 more.
Yeah. And I mean, with episode 7, they nailed it. So
they did.
I love episode 7.
They did. And they should have taken more time for the others.
Maybe like an extra year before the movie came out.
That's all you need.
Like, we don't need one so quickly. I mean, we would love it quickly, but
just sit in the bath salts for a little bit, enjoy it, and then go back to it. Take a year off.
Yeah, that was my last thing comparing. I thought that was important.
Cool. So yeah, let's move on. This is like gonna be my favorite part. So I want to blend the two. I want to put it in a blender and I want to mix it. So imagine that Star Wars and Marvel are both stepping into the quantum realm, and something goes wrong. And they get swapped into different universes. So let's start with Luke Skywalker. If anyone from the MCU were to be the character of Luke Skywalker, who would it be?
Winter Soldier.
Which is?
Just Sebastian Stan. He just looks exactly like young Mark Hamill.
Bucky, for those who don't really know.
Yeah, Bucky.
Yep, that's
the White Wolf.
Nail on the head. That's what else can we call him?
So many names.
Buck. My friend Buck.
Yeah. I just thought of another tie-in to a past MCU movie. We'll do that later.
Just go for it. Just do it. Just do it.
At the end of the movie, when Cap time travels, and he goes, he's like, "Don't do anything stupid while I'm gone." And Bucky goes, "How can I? You're taking all the stupid with you." In Captain America 1, they said that to each other, but reverse. When he was still skinny, and Bucky went to war, he was like, "Don't do anything stupid while I'm gone," and they said the exact same thing.
I remember that.
So I was like, "The Russos are amazing." All right, continue. So Bucky would be Luke Skywalker.
Absolutely right. I would pick the same. Let's look at Han Solo. Who from the MCU is a Han Solo?
Rocket.
Really?
Rocket.
Let me think about it.
Either Rocket or Star-Lord. One of the two. I think Rocket, personality-wise, is Han Solo, and then Chris Pratt just like logistically. I mean, Star-Lord just logistically is like Han Solo.
I can see it.
If Star-Lord had Rocket's like personality, that'd be Han Solo, I think.
I mean, he's kind of already got the jacket.
Yeah, he's got the jacket. So, he's got the guns.
Yeah.
Just Rocket's more like, one-liner E.
Yeah.
That's who I'd say.
I think Iron Man.
That makes sense too.
But I can totally see Rocket mixed with Star-Lord. That works too. Let's get into some women. What about Leia? I like being able to mix characters too. Let's keep that going if we have to.
Leia. Who would be Leia? I don't know, because I see Leia, at least in the episode 4. It's like a damsel in distress, kind of, a little bit.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anyone like that.
Yeah.
Maybe Pepper? No.
Ooh, no.
Not at all.
I couldn't see.
At least maybe Pepper in this last one, because she becomes a badass.
Yeah.
But no. Leia. I know who would be R2-D2. Nebula. She even does the eye thing. She even does the hologram thing. And it's like the same colors.
That's so true.
Nebula is R2-D2.
Oh my, if anyone out there listening is good with like graphic design, please create a visual of what we're just describing right now. Like
Nebula
all the
making
characters.
Leia.
Yes. Of all the characters we're putting into the Star Wars universe, make it like blend those two together and please send it to me. I really want to see that.
Literally in that scene with Thanos and she has the hologram, it's her like, "Help me, Thanos, you're my only hope." That's exactly what it is.
I love it. Okay, then who's her counterpart?
Leia?
C-3PO.
Oh, C-3PO? Maybe Groot? No, I just say that because he's tall and lanky.
Yeah, it can't be Groot.
C-3PO. He's like sarcastic, but also very literal. Sort of. And like doesn't do much. Who's like a sidekick? That's like whatever. That's how I see C-3PO, obviously.
You're not gonna like it, but I think I would like to see Captain America as
what?
C-3PO.
Not at all. Captain America, if anything, is like, I don't know, but not C-3PO.
I think I just want his personality inside of C-3PO.
I think Captain America is young Obi-Wan.
Yes, actually.
Like a Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan.
Definitely.
Just like the good Samaritan. Sort of
this
like I believe in the light side, He's like, how could you do it? You are the chosen one. So who's like young Anakin? Also Nebula, kind of opposite.
young Anakin, like prequel Anakin.
Yeah.
That one.
I'd say Nebula, but like the opposite. She's like bad and becomes good.
For young Anakin,
I mean, obviously Darth Vader is
Star-Lord.
Thanos. Star-Lord. Oh.
yeah, he never really grew up.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
At least in the first part of the first Guardians.
Who's Jar Jar? Drax.
Jar.
But better. Drax turned into Drax turned into a joke, so like I can see that in the last 2 movies.
Mantis is Jar Jar.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, Mantis. I like Mantis, but she's definitely my least favorite. But I like her.
And wait, let's go back to Leia.
Yeah, who's Leia?
Black Widow.
That doesn't like click in my mind. I think we're just saying that because they're 2 main characters.
Yeah.
They're 2 main characters.
And it also doesn't have to be a girl from the MCU.
I think it'd be Gamora. She's the main bad dude's daughter. And
Yes.
Kind
She's
of
smart. She's sexy. She's got a little bit of attitude. Okay, yeah, I'd say Gamora.
I'd say Gamora. The father-daughter scenario is kind of why I'm thinking that.
Yeah, okay, it's Gamora.
Chewbacca.
It's Groot. That's Groot all the way.
Adult Groot, like Guardians 1 Groot.
I am Chewie.
Yeah. Someone please make this.
Yes, please.
Who else is there?
Do a crossover, beg you.
I think the fastest one we thought of was Luke. Sebastian Stan looks just like
Jabba is Thor, Fat Thor.
Fat Thor.
I know that doesn't even make sense.
I feel like Jabba would be more like Korg. Oh, can I get what you owe me, hon?
Or would it be Hulk?
Nah, because he doesn't do anything, Jabba.
Yeah.
And he's not
He
smart.
just sits there.
Who would Hulk be though? The Hulk would be the what's that giant thing that almost eats Han?
Giant thing.
Like he gets put down into like a
Rathars?
cellar. I don't know its name.
The Cellar.
Or is it
the
Luke?
Rancor.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. There was one other one.
General Grievous. That's Ultron.
General. Yep.
That's Ultron.
100%.
Count Dooku is who's in? Oh, Count Dooku is from the main bad guy in Winter Soldier, Robert Redford. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
But that's Dooku, the leader of Shield, who's actually for Hydra.
Yeah, what's his name?
I forgot his name, but it's
Gonna
Robert
bug the shit out of
Redford
me.
is the actor.
Yeah.
That's Count.
Alexander Pierce.
Yeah,
That's what it
I
is.
think that's Count Dooku.
I can see that. Here's a big one. Palpatine.
It's not. No, Thanos is Darth Vader. Right?
Yep, Thanos is Vader.
So
100%.
who's more evil than Thanos? Who would Palpatine be? Would Palpatine be Loki? No.
No.
Just because he's like a trickster. He kind of tricks people. Tricked Anakin into joining the dark side.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, I'll help you with everything you need. Dude, trust me. No one's going to die. Girlfriend dies.
Maybe Palpatine. You remember the assistant to Thanos, or his right-hand
Ebony Maw?
man?
Ebony
No,
Maw?
before Infinity War in like Guardians 2.
Oh,
guy
the dude with the weird
cloak.
extra hand?
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know his name.
maybe him. I don't know his name
Yeah.
either.
I guess.
I mean, it might just be 'cause he has a
Stanley
hood,
and
is why I'm
Stanley and
thinking
George
that.
Lucas. Obviously, those two things.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my god, I need to see this like
That's an
visually.
obvious
Guys,
thing.
do it, please.
That one's an obvious one. Yeah, it would have to be someone more evil than Thanos, or maybe
Yeah.
Gamora is Darth Vader and Palpatine is Thanos, because Gamora is evil and then goes to the, or maybe Nebula is Darth Vader.
Oh, so tough.
And it could be any of these, honestly.
And guys, shout out on Twitter. Like, what do you think? Like, help us out.
Palpatine is Dormammu. Got it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's a pretty evil
Yeah.
dude. We only see him once, but I mean, we don't beat him. We just kind of trick him.
I'll take it. I can see it happening.
Dormammu is Palpatine. I'd say that.
Yeah. And do you remember? You didn't watch Rebels, did you?
I did not.
Damn.
Let's just say the general guy, the blue dude.
Oh, Thrawn? No. I was gonna say there's like these giant space whales in Rebels, and they're definitely the what are they called? In those big giant.
The Chitauri things?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called. But the whole race is called the Chitauri.
Chitauri.
But I know what you're talking about.
The Chitauri whales.
The flying ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's switched with the Purgles in Star Wars.
Who's Ant-Man?
Oh, man.
Who's just like a dude who's there for comedic relief, but also has a purpose.
Lando. Although
But he's not a lady.
comedic
But he's not a
relief.
ladies' man. Man, it's definitely not a ladies' man.
Yeah.
He's not cool. Is Lando Thor?
I think Lando is Thor.
He kind of thinks he's the shit and has a cape.
Cloud City, Asgard? Yeah, it's the same thing. Lando is Thor. That's perfect. What was the one you said before that?
What was the one I said before that? Ant-Man.
Yeah, who's Ant-Man?
Who's Ant-Man? It's someone for comedic relief, but also has a purpose. That would be the general thought.
Nine Nub.
I don't know who that is at all.
You don't know, it's Lando, the guy in Return of the Jedi. Lando's like co-pilot in the Falcon.
Okay.
That
funny.
weird looking one.
That set off nothing.
And his laugh.
Oh God, George, what were you thinking? No, I'm kidding.
One more, and then we'll wrap up. Yoda. This is a tough one. Doctor Strange?
I don't know. That doesn't sound right. It's like a mentor. Who did we say Luke? Wait, is Yoda Captain America?
Yeah.
He's like the leader. He's wise. He just wants the good to win, no matter what.
And yeah, it is Captain America.
And he becomes
if
old.
Sebastian Stan is Luke.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it makes sense.
Yes.
I like that.
So does that mean Captain America is riding on Winter Soldier's back in this photo?
Oh, I'd love to see that. Now whoever's
While they
creating this
train?
graphic has to make that too. Put Captain America riding Winter Soldier's back.
One of my favorite memes before episode 8 came out was like, because we thought Luke was going to be training Leia, even though he didn't in the movie. But there was like memes of like Luke riding Rey's back, like
I love
Yoda
that,
did.
yeah.
It was just like Mark Hamill just piggyback riding on the
I think
back
that was
of
his
Rey.
birthday post.
It might have been.
It was so
I
funny.
forget where I saw it, but that's very possible. He's a very funny dude.
Yeah. All right. Well, unfortunately, got to wrap it up today. But
All right, wait. Let's wrap it. Favorite Endgame scene. Go. Just like number one.
Okay.
Just to end it.
Favorite Endgame scene. Do you have yours ready? Do you know what it is?
It's pretty much the entire final fight, but if I had to be way more specific, I'd probably say when Cap first gets Mjolnir. And like that whole scene.
Yeah, I do love that.
That made me scream.
Man, I should have thought about this.
You got it. We got time. We're listening, right, guys? We're here.
I'm gonna say. See, I don't want to just say that to copy you
Yeah.
because it's really good. But
Yeah, I took it first. Maybe Thor with his mom or the women.
no, keep naming things because it's gonna come to me.
Tony Stark dying. The first 15 minutes.
This is so tough.
What in the theater made you just go, holy shit, other than the Mjolnir scene? I mean, we could also just agree.
I'm just gonna say Avengers Assemble. That really
man.
got me.
That also includes Mjolnir,
Yeah,
because he like brings it in. It's like, zoom,
yeah.
Avenger.
I think that's the
No.
part I was most emotional because everyone came back.
Yeah, and everyone, and like again, we both saw the movie 3 times, so you're like looking, like you
Yeah.
look at different things. So when he says Avengers, I looked like behind him, and
Yeah.
it was this awesome shot of him, Thor, and Iron Man, and it was just so cool.
Yeah, every time you go, you like, okay, who else can I find in this, this group?
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was it. That was MCU versus Star Wars. Leave some comments. Let us know your thoughts. What do you like better? What do you think of Endgame? Do you think Star Wars can learn from MCU? Do you think MCU can learn some things from Star Wars? What's some Episode 9 speculation? Let's hear it. Let's get it all out. But thank you again so much for listening. Thank you, Zen, again for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
We'll definitely have you back. I mean, I'm sure we're going to talk some more Last Jedi and a bunch of other
Talk
stuff.
some more shit about Last Jedi.
But yeah, guys, check him out at Zen Thomas. I'll leave a link in the description. And check out the social media at Han Talks First. Use the hashtag to get my attention, and we'll talk some Star Wars. May the Force be with you.